G'day Marvel Future Fight gamers, VaderG here, welcome back to the channel. Alright, so having a bit of a look at the APK yesterday, having a bit of a look at notes that people had made, chatting with a couple of star agents as well, and having a chat with the guys in Awesome Mix Volume 1 and other people in various forums, line groups, Discord, that sort of thing. Wanted to have a bit of a chat about this, the Alliance Battle change, where effectively the change has been to actually increase the bosses, the Frost Beast's defense. Okay, so every time he roars, and this is nothing new, every time he roars his defense goes up a little bit and he gets harder to score points against. Now we've had the issue, everyone knows, where we've been hitting the cap on week 1, basically most days of the week. We knew that there was going to be some change in the Alliance Battle at some stage. Netmarble themselves hinted at it at the last, I think it was the last update, that there would be changes coming to Alliance Battle, and everyone kind of got pretty hyped up and excited what potentially could these changes be. I can tell you, out of all the possible changes that could have occurred to Alliance Battle, which, by the way, needs a major rework to attract people back to the mode, I think this is possibly the laziest fix, I'm saying fix in inverted commas here, that could have actually occurred. So let's run through what's happened. So I'll show some photos here on screen. So what happened before in Standard Alliance, well, I shouldn't say Standard, in Alliance Battle Extreme on the existing server, the first roar did a decrease of damage received to the boss of 15%. You can click on that little red shield icon. Well, it's not a shield icon, the hands up sort of icon above the beast there, and you can test this for yourself. So for the first roar is 15%, the second roar 30%, and the third roar 50%. So it gets harder and harder to score points against. So it gradually gets more difficult, which is probably not too uncommon for lots of games where there's challenges, that it does become harder as things move along. The change in the test server, and I'm assuming this is going to roll over into the basically into the update release, is the first roar, instead of 15%, goes to 50%. The second roar goes from 30% to 70%. The third roar changes from 50% damage received reduction to 90%. So that's the change. In addition to that, I believe there's been some other changes, like certain crowd control based skills not working on the beast. I'm not sure if that side of things is intentional or if it is a bug that's actually specific to this test server. But I just want to take a moment here and just sort of reflect on how good would it have been, and this is what people had in mind, right? When Netmarble said that there was going to be change to the Alliance Battle structure or the Alliance Battle mode, we were thinking, could there be a new boss? Instead of smashing this same old Frost Beast over and over, could there have been a new boss? Right? So that's one potential change that could have happened. Could the existing boss have different attack patterns? That is another change. The meteors, could they become a little bit quicker? Could you actually pick stuff up a little bit like Danger Room, where you pick up certain buffs and whatnot as you're actually playing the battle, and strategize a little bit through the Alliance Battle rather than just face tanking with all these immensely powerful characters that we have, with all the invincibility and all the stuff, and CTPs of Rage and Odin's Blessings. Could a little bit more strategy in the game, maybe a little bit more skill. How about better rewards? Better rewards that actually scale as you increase as you increase your score through the Alliance Battle, or as you accumulate points through the Alliance Battle. Give people an incentive to actually build their rosters, to get some of these CTPs, to build better cards, rather than going to 100,000, which is, I'm assuming 95% of the actual Marvel Future Fight population goes to 100,000. Then they do whatever they do. They bloody cark it, get their reward and move on, because what's the point of pushing any further, right? So basically anything to change the mode would be welcome. It's a very old, established, but a very wealth-producing aspect of the game. It has been for Marvel Future Fight, basically, from the first year onwards, right? So, in my mind, I don't think it would be hard to justify, if I was Netmarble, pouring some money into this mode. You know, we build all these characters, we build all these units up for Alliance Battle. We spend our money, we spend our resources doing this sort of thing. We buy the uniforms, we buy the base uniforms and this sort of thing. It's a huge wealth creator for the game, right? And I'm not just talking Alliance Battle. I'm talking all Alliance base modes, Alliance Tournament, and even to a degree Alliance Conquest as well, right? One of the only modes where you can still use all of your units in the game, Alliance Conquest, playing against other people's units, right? So to say that I'm extremely disappointed would nearly actually be a bit of an understatement, to be perfectly honest. I think this change, if this is what the change is, if this is all it is, it's an epic fail. It's a fail on a significant level, to be perfectly honest. And on top of that, I really don't think that this is anything what the community has asked for. I honestly think this is like a lazy fix. I'm going to throw it out there. I think this is a lazy, pretty not much thought gone into it fix. I mean, okay, we did a recent survey. I'd be interested to know how many people responded with, I think Alliance Battle and its rewards are perfect. Just increase the beast's defense. So let's just think about that for a minute. I can assure you that no one in the top 16 Alliance thinks that what has happened or what's going to happen with this defense decrease is a worthy fix at all, right? I also want to take a little bit of a moment to reflect on the game, the wider game, right? Okay, so when I first started playing Marvel Future Fight, the objective was to build up a team, to build up a few good characters to beat story mode, or to get as far in story mode as you can, and then from there you branch out into other types of modes. It was limited back then. We didn't have anywhere near as much stuff as what we have now, right? But here's an example. It was more of a team building environment than what it is these days. These days, Marvel Future Fight is quite an individual mode, and it's certainly been steered in that direction over the past 12 to 18 months. Back in the day, we used to carry each other for co-op completions. Alright? So in the Alliance, you could invite someone, and you invite someone on your friends list in your Alliance to do a co-op completion with you. And you team up. A team of 3 was required to complete the co-op mission. The same co-op as what we have today, right? They haven't changed anything. It's the same sort of stuff, right? But we used to have to team up to beat that. And that in itself was a team building. So we either did that in our Alliance or we did it in chat rooms, like line chat rooms. And we'd say, okay, we're going to run. Who's going to carry? And then we'd run as many of our units through as we possibly could, right? That was team building stuff. Alliance Battle has always been team building, a team building environment. Okay, Alliance Tournament, exactly the same. It's a team environment. And what happens is in these team environments, you build friendships, right, which transcend the game. Okay, this is one of the real beauties of Marvel Future Fight. You can build friendships that transcend the game, that actually get you, that you really can see some value in, rather than just flogging away and scoring all these points and, you know, getting these new CTPs and feeling good for a few minutes and then you're back into the grind, right? The friendships is what it's all about. And like I said, they transcend the game. Now, for the past 2 years, in my opinion, the modes that have encouraged that friendship and team building have been forgotten to an extent. They remain unchanged and really outdated. So I'm talking about Alliance Battle, Alliance Conquest, Alliance Tournament. Those modes where so much of the revenue has come from the player base for such an extended period of time, in my opinion, have basically been forgotten. They've been left on the shelf and just lived there. All the individual base modes are the ones that have come up and sort of said, hey, you know, like Giant Boss Raid, World Boss Ultimate, even Danger Room to an extent. But let's say World Boss Ultimate. There's nothing teamwork about World Boss Ultimate. It's an individual mode. Now, I'm not knocking it. I enjoy playing it myself, right? But I don't know. I really think that the shift over the past 12 months is really hurting the game. I believe that Netmarble should be putting more of their resources into keeping the Alliance-based modes relevant, keeping them up to date, making them worthwhile, making them attractive to new players coming through. Because at the moment I feel like it's not. To be honest, I feel like this increase of the boss's defense or damage reduction or whatever you want to call it, is just a bullshit, lazy, pretty thoughtless fix, in inverted commas, a fix. It's not a fix. You're not fixing the mode. All you're doing is changing a few numbers in the mode, and we're seeing our characters that we built up over a period of time gonna score a shitload less, right? I don't think too many people are going to be super enthusiastic about that. That's my opinion. It was a real wasted opportunity. A real wasted opportunity so far from this update from an Alliance battle perspective. Yeah, we've got a couple of new meta characters, which will be nice. Don't get me wrong. The characters look great. The uniforms look awesome. But shit, man. This is no rework. This is not an improvement. It's a nothing. It's a no effort. A no effort, and you keep on expecting people to keep on spending money? Come on. Honestly, Netmarble, you could do way better than what you've done with this Alliance Battle change. It could have been so much better. Anyway, guys, that's my rant over. What do you guys think? Hit me up in the comments below. I'd be really interested to hear everyone's thoughts on this. Sorry it's been a boring visual video, but it is what it is. I kind of felt like I had to get that off my chest. Like I said, guys, support with the comments. Let the developers know what you think. Thanks.